What's up, Monero fam? So this week I opened Pandora's box by putting together a starter kit list and putting it in front of you guys, the most street smart kids in the Monero Reddit. And oh my god, so I made this huge mistake that I added Brave as one of the privacy browsers, okay? And about 50% of you guys started throwing virtual eggs and tomatoes at me. And so the expert opinion coming from one of you, and I'm just gonna read this. Have you looked at the default settings of Brave? It is a friggin' disaster. Allows access to social media companies, microphone, webcams, you name it. I had to go through every setting and reduce permission levels, like 20 plus configuration changes. Then, after a few months of usage, it turns out the Brave team was inserting referral links to crypto exchanges. F that BS. Okay, so that was the verdict on Brave. So of course I removed that, and turns out, the only browser the Monero community trusts is Tor, that hides your IP address. So Tor, amen. Also, one guy said that he's using icecat or hardened Firefox over Brave. And I was like, that sounds like the best drink ever.
I also took a look at the starter pack, and I was pretty excited to see Nextcloud on there. That's a personal favorite of mine. And for those of you who aren't familiar with it, it supports a bunch of customizations that allow you to kind of lock down your data and run your own server. Most people use it just sort of as a self-hosted kind of Dropbox system. But if you know your way around Linux terminal and want to run a server, you can literally run it on an old computer or even like a Raspberry Pi and like a small solid state drive just plugged into it. So it's pretty cool. And the other one on there, Graphene OS, I haven't personally used that one, but when I was reading up on it, it was really cool and exciting, and it makes me want to buy a Pixel 4 and root it and put it on there. And from what I could find, it doesn't void the warranty on your phone, installing Graphene OS over whatever crap comes preloaded on there. But if you brick it and you can't recover it and you try to take it into the Verizon store, they're not going to give you your money back. That's probably, they're just not going to honor that warranty.
Right.
So there's a little bit of a risk with it, but the privacy benefits way outweigh it. And it's not just limited to the Pixel 4, but that's the one that they recommend. So yeah, those are cool, two cool picks.
Yeah. And so another mistake that I made was I left DuckDuckGo DuckDuckGo as a recommended search engine, and so the million Monero question is, how does DuckDuckGo make money? Okay, so no one seems to know. So if you're listening to this, DuckDuckGo, then just come and let us know.
We're here.
Because the Monero community is highly suspicious. Okay. So then the third mistake that I made is I added Protonmail, okay? And a disclosure here, I'm happy personally with Protonmail. We use Protonmail for our business email, and I'm happy with the encryption. I'm not Hillary or anything, but the calendar, the calendar. And also the way it's organized, the whole user interface, sometimes you don't see the new emails that come in. Like, for example, I could send an email to Jojo, like, I love you, Jojo. And then I'm waiting for an email back, I love you too, Chill. And sometimes I wait 2 days and nothing. And then I just cry in front of my laptop, and then I type in Jojo's email, and bam, it just shows up. And so it shows that it was sent 2 days ago. So it's like a really bad interface. So you guys recommended a German sounding, an Italian sounding German email called tutanota.com. And so I visited the website and I click on the calendar, of course, and it says zero knowledge calendar. So I'm like, yeah, that sounds sexy. So I'm gonna check that out. Thank you guys. And yeah, Hillary, if you're listening to this, write this down, tutanota.com.
So loca.io was really cool when I dove into that one. It allow you to communicate with other people off-grid where there's no internet access or anything. And additionally, you can broadcast a Bitcoin or a Monero transaction, when you get that access to the grid, and sync a full node and quite a bit more without internet. I was like, that is so cool. And they have a really neat protocol, and it's a mesh network, so it can connect with other devices, and it really plugs into a lot of different things that can get mobile internet. So that one's really cool. And there's also GoTenna, which kind of does a similar thing in the way that it connects you to the web. But as far as I could tell, they didn't have built-in support for the Bitcoin wallet and the Monero wallet like Loca did. So that's kind of a cool bonus there. So if you have a mobile wallet on your phone and then you were able to connect to the internet through GoTenna, you could send a transaction that way. But Loca's got it pretty core feature, which is really cool.
So the Monero community also doesn't like Signal very much. What keeps them up at night is the fact that it's centralized. And what's even more concerning, it's the fact that it's asking for your phone number and your name. So why do you need our phone number, Signal? Why?
Also mentioned on the list was Hunix, which is a Debian Linux-based security-focused Linux distribution. And it aims to provide privacy, security, and anonymity on the internet. Also recommended by y'all was Cubes, which is a security-oriented, free and open source operating system for personal computers that allows you to securely compartmentalize your digital life. I also mentioned was Tails, which is a portable operating system that protects against surveillance and censorship and allows you to avoid those things, advertising viruses, things like that. I think Cubes and Tails they're not similar, but Cubes is a little bit more persistent. I think Tails is meant to just be like run off of a bootable, some sort of bootable drive that you plug into the USB port or something like that. But yeah.
I have to check it out. It was all recommended by the Monero community, so we have to kind of play around with it. And as for the hardware, which I'm really excited about, you guys can check out Embassy from Start9 Labs if you want a personal plug-and-play personal server. So actually, to be honest, hardware it's kind of not my cup of tea. So if you are a home server type of guy and you're so obsessed with this that your girlfriend thinks it's worse than a drug addiction, we need you to come online on the 21st to our live stream. We are interviewing Matt, who's the founder of Start9 Labs.
Not me. Although I'll be there.
Yeah, and so we need you to come and ask some hard questions. If you're an OG, you've been through the ups and downs of the home server roller coaster, you know what you're asking, okay? Okay, so this is national privacy news. Actually, I'll take that back. This is international privacy news, okay? If you believe in privacy, you should run a Monero node. And if I instantly convinced you, which I hope I did.
You convinced me, I'm in.
Okay, you should check out Seth's guide on how to run a Monero node by yourself. It's going to be in the description below. And thank you so much, Seth, for missing out on all the Netflix originals to put this together for us. We really appreciate you. Another news is Kraken released an app where you can buy Monero directly with fiat currency. So yay, more liquidity. I just clicked on it and it says this app is not supported by second world countries like yours, so I guess I need a new set of regulators. But if you are lucky and you live in a country where it's supported, check that out. I think that's great news. And thank you so much, Kraken.
And then also there was a user on Reddit who said that they had been crypto-jacked, had been the victim of crypto-jacking. And what had happened was on a Windows machine, a program was using about 40% of their CPU cycles. They had identified it in their task manager, and over a year, I believe, it was running. But yeah, using a lot of CPU cycles, and eventually they went on the forums to look it up. Someone recommended Malwarebytes as a way to get rid of it, so they downloaded it and were able to get it off there. But for almost a year, it had been mining cryptocurrency for somebody.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you should all download Malwarebytes, I think, just to scan and make sure no one's using your CPU.
Yep.
Have you ever woke up in the morning with an attitude of gratitude and thought, darn, I really wish I could buy a cup of coffee to our privacy first responders, the Monero devs? Well, you can and you should. Visit ccs.getmonero.org and click on donate.
And any support is great support. It can be the cheap 7-Eleven coffee or a fancy schmancy Starbucks extravaganza. Whatever you want to donate, the chump change that's in the bottom of your Monero wallet, it will be graciously welcomed.
And everyone who knows how to read, everyone who knows how to read loves this book, and you would too.
Yes, and you can order it directly from the Monero community. So that's it for this week's Monero news. Remember, keep hodling your Monero.
You can feel its presence. You just